Hello, I'm Mary Brett, the resident doer of things. Thank you for being here. At the Doers of Things podcast, we intend to share conversations with you that demystify the creative process and humanize the journey, which are just fancy ways of saying we hope you get inspired to go out and do the things that bring you joy after hearing a fellow human share how and why they do what they do. We're all innate creators, curating our reality with every thought, word, and action. My guests all have different stories, backgrounds, and passions, but the one thing they hold in common is that they do the things that nurture the reality they want to live. They all just started somewhere and kept doing. Today we're going to share a conversation had with Craig Wayne Boyd, winner of Season 7 of The Voice. But first, I want to let you know that this is a value for value, pay what you wish, give what you can, free will investment model listening experience. That means you get to choose what you contribute in time, talent, or treasure to reflect the amount of value you get from listening to the Doers of Things. No donation is too small, and all donations help produce the show. Head over to thedoersofthings.com to learn more in the Contribute tab. Now for my conversation had with Craig Wayne Boyd, a Texas-born and raised musician who now resides in Nashville. After winning Season 7 of The Voice on Team Blake, Boyd went on to work on his solo career before forming the group Texas Hill. I saw Texas Hill play while in Kodiak during the summer of 2022, which brought my weekly radio show on KMXT and eventually this podcast into my life. On one of my trips to Nashville, I saw Texas Hill had a residency at the Underdog, a great dive bar worth checking out if you're ever in Music City. And I was looking forward to trying to have them on both shows. Little did I know at the time of my reach out email, however, that Craig had just split from the band to focus again on his solo career. In the band or not, I thought Craig Wayne Boyd would be a great guest, and I was appreciative of him squeezing me in on a busy day. Join me as we chat in a publishing house on Music Row about his journey in music on March 30th, 2023. So this is actually the second time that we've met, but I do not expect you to remember the way that the tour dates that you keep. But you played in Kodiak last summer at the fairgrounds. And Kodiak could have a better music scene, you know, so I mean, I just hit up anything and everything that was coming through. So I'm glad that I caught that one. So I wanted to so I was looking up Texas Hill. I've been here for a month or so and then saw the residency and I said, oh, that'd be a great thing to get on the show. And then so I do my research and I find out, okay, things have shifted there a little bit. Yeah. So do you want to just knock that out of the way and talk about that transition and then we can go into what you're doing now?
There's not a whole lot there to really talk about other than just, you know, we moved on.
Okay.
Back to what I was doing previous to that.
Yeah.
COVID was not nice to any of us, and I needed to find a way to continue to play music. And I was coming out of a record deal at the time, and things were not moving where like I wanted them. So I needed to kind of focus my musical energy into something different. And so I come up with the idea of Texas Hill, and it was great for the 2.5 years that we ran that.
Y'all were busy.
It was phenomenal. I could not believe the amount of shows, even during the crazy rundowns, that we were able to pull off and actually get out and entertain people.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm super grateful for, and it really got my creative juices flowing again, and has led me into, you know, back into writing and really focused in on what this next album is supposed to be for me.
And what do you want that to be? What do you see that as being?
I have been, and not that I'm getting away from it, I've always looked at albums and putting music together as, the reason they call it a record is because it is a record of that time in your life.
I'm a big believer of that too.
And the one thing that I have not written and really gotten into is that since really the creation of I put out an album after the Voice stuff, and then I put out one that was called From the In Between. And that was really the last music that I had put out as a solo artist. And that was really from the dating period. Okay. Since then I've had 4 more kids. Right. And there's a lot more life that's been lived, and I feel like I've found true love and all of that. So this album is more focused on that love, the kids, and of course I'm gonna have some party songs in there, but it's a little bit different direction of party songs versus being out in the crowd. It's like, let's throw a house party. Let's have, it's more that kind of that thing, and that's more relatable to where I'm at.
Yeah. So are you going to have all the songs on the album be ones that you wrote, or are you going to mix and match?
I have already dove into. I've cut one outside song so far.
Okay.
But majority of it's been stuff that I'm writing. The writing rooms have been really nice to me lately.
Nice. You kind of got your start here with the publishing deal.
That's right.
Talk about what that experience is like and explain to people, what that means, and as a songwriter, how that feels to write something that you don't get to cut and
Yeah, it's
give to someone else.
it's actually pretty interesting sitting here on Music Row at the moment. This is where I started, just right down the street from here. It was my first time to write a song on Music Row, and it was interesting back then because I was such a young kid, and just navigating. I was wide eyed and bushy tailed.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's go do this, and I would come in and I would write 2 or 3 songs a day, just hopping from publishing house to publishing house writing. And now it's a little bit more direct on this is the direction that I want to go, where I was more shotgun style at the beginning. And I think that's what it helped, having direction in the fact that you have a list of this is who's looking for songs, and you could think of
style.
you could think of what their style was, and more so than even writing for myself, I was writing for everyone else from a list of this is what people were looking for. So I didn't end up cutting a lot of my own songs back then because I was creating a brand as an artist and then also writing, but I had never really combined the two of those together.
And so that's this album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
Even going back, it's crazy. Even going back yesterday, was in the studio and I cut a song that I wrote 15 years ago.
Oh, that feels good.
And it had just been, I felt like at the time I had outwritten where I was at in life, of what I had hoped life would be, and from experiences that I had.
Yeah.
But to me, it needed an older soul to portray the song.
Yeah.
It was a song that Alan Jackson cut at one point. It didn't make his album, but he recorded it.
Yeah.
And so it was like, that was a pedestal song for me. I was like, I can't touch this song. Even though I wrote it, I can't touch it yet. And now I feel like I can.
And that's just feeling more that you have the life experience.
The life experience to be able
put
to
that behind the sound.
Yeah, to express the song how it should be.
What song are you most excited to get on this new album to show people where you're at right now?
The one I wrote 2 days ago. It's like the last song that I wrote.
Nice.
I think that's the way it works as a creator, is that you get excited about each milestone, each song that you put out. I've written, I went in with an idea and wrote a duet to sing with my wife.
Okay.
The last album, I had her come in. It was a kind of a fluke, that I was supposed to sing it with another artist. She had a TV show at the time, and scheduling was not working.
Yeah.
To get it, like we had studio time booked, didn't happen because she got called back to LA to do another show, and it wasn't happening. And we had the studio time locked in, and I called my wife and was like, "Hey, can you get the studio in about 45 minutes?" And she showed up and sang the female part on the song.
That's pretty special.
And I wish that I had a better story, that we had this all planned, but we didn't.
I think that is the better story.
Yeah, it was like, hey, you know what? She's an amazing singer. So we were able to do that. And just 2 days before she had our second kid together, our third child overall, she got to sing that with me on the Grand Opry. We got to sing that together.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so from that moment, I've had, when we're playing out, even especially now, where we're at musically, I've been having her get up and sing with me as a guest during the show. But it's like, this is so special. I want to actually write something for us to sing. And so that's the one I'm pretty excited about.
What's it called, so we know to look out for?
It's called Only You.
Okay. Do you see each other, you see yourself like bringing her and all the fam on the road? How does it work to have 5 kids and be a touring musician?
It is challenging in the fact that depending on where you're at, and right now I'm rebuilding, so the show prices are not as high as what I would like. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to bring a whole family out,
right?
And stay supporting the family
right
at home. But we, of course, are working towards that. That's what I hope for.
Now, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that The Voice made you sign some sort of NDA, but if they didn't, what is one of the most kind of like shocking things that you found through that experience? Like, didn't realize like that's how that was going to go, or that kind of thing.
I would say it's a positive thing. I was surprised at how much say so that I had.
That's pretty cool to hear.
They really let me run with it. And I was looking for something a couple of days ago on my email, and I came across the board tape, basically, which is the recording of me singing Johnny Cash Walk the Line, the version that I did on the show. And you hear Blake talking in the background and all this stuff. It was just just a cell phone sitting there, and this is the idea I have.
Yeah.
And then there's another version with the piano playing, and them trying to figure out what the arrangement was that I wanted to do at that moment. So they really did let me have a lot of say-so on how that stuff worked.
That does really feel good.
I didn't even know that I had those. I was like, this is kind of fun to find in my email.
Oh, totally. What was growing up like for you? Was there a lot of music in the house? Were there other people that played? When did you start playing?
I started playing at like 4.
Oh, wow.
So I've been playing. My dad was a banjo player. He was learning the banjo at that time. He was a guitar player. And went on, he still plays a couple of times a week.
Nice.
Playing honky tonks and stuff. But yeah, growing up, there was music everywhere. My mom was she was Pentecostal Ladies Doers.
Okay.
So we were Pentecostal organization or denomination, I would say, is very musical.
Yeah.
And it's all about the music. And so that was a huge influence in me growing up. Probably the reason that I started so young, because we didn't watch TV, so what else were you going to do?
Right, right.
You're going to play outside or you're going to play music, one
yeah.
of the two. And music was something I was drawn to.
Are you familiar with Abe Partridge and his podcast, The Alabama Astronaut?
I am not.
You need to dive into this. During the pandemic, he's a musician and painter, and during the pandemic, he got inspired to, it's a long story, I'll let you find it via the podcast, but was going around to serpent handling churches of the South, holiness churches, recognized the music that was happening there, and it was some of the best he'd ever heard, and praise music he'd never heard, and he used to be a preacher. And so he went around recording it, kind of like Lomax style.
Oh, wow.
Because those songs didn't get recorded at that time because, you're not, serpent handling churches are kind of looked down on, so why were we going to spend the time going into there? So it's a really fascinating story, and it sounds like you have, family that's kind of close to it.
Yeah, not quite that far.
It's not right,
but it's along the same vein.
Right. I think that you would enjoy that. But when did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
I think I knew it as a teenager that this was what I was going to do, and then I got married young, and I kind of ran from it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had an opportunity to come out here and visit in Nashville and realized this is where I wanted to be. I didn't know how I could do it because I just built a house and had a 6-figure paying job in my early 20s.
Doing what?
I was in sales.
Okay.
I was in corporate sales for Motorola.
All right.
Like dealing with all the municipalities and putting in their communication systems. It was right after, of course, we had the Twin Towers, so everyone was trying to upgrade their communications. So I was making hand over fist money. It was like, I come out here and visited, and literally was here for 24 hours, and was in a publishing house down the street meeting with the president.
Nice.
Someone had heard me back in Texas, where I'm from, and got me in this room, and he was like, "I really like what you're doing. You plan on moving here?" And I was like, "Oh, absolutely." No, I had no. I was like, "How can that even work?" And I remember driving home. My dad was with me. Him being a musician, he was like, "I'm not gonna miss going to Nashville to see this." And I remember driving home and out loud saying, "God, I don't know how this is gonna work," because I just built all this beautiful life back in Texas. But if I'm supposed to be here, help me figure it out. Well, he heard me. and I showed up to a note pinned to our brand new house saying, "Don't try to find me."
Oh,
Yeah.
but your wife had
My wife
left.
had moved out
Okay.
while I was gone.
Wow. You know,
It was kind of
that's a sign.
That's a 2x4 across the forehead
Right.
that says, "Okay, this is where you're supposed to go." So, after figuring out that it was done,
Yeah.
within 2 or 3 months, I was out here.
Okay.
I moved here to Nashville.
So, I'm actually a Texas girl, born and raised.
There you go. I saw the Texas plates out there.
Yeah, Alaska, I just went there for a job. The job fell through. I ended up with a radio show. I was just playing my music for 6 weeks. And then when I came back home, I just asked if I could keep it. And then I just branched into doing interviews. I bring all that up to say there's Texas and there's Tennessee, there's Austin and there's Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody can really talk to both, but you can. So what are the big differences? What are the big similarities? Why do you feel like there is that kind of, well, we're this way and y'all are that way?
Yeah, I don't know. I never fell for the whole thing of that it was different, because I always looked at it, just try to make the best music that you can.
Yeah.
And wherever that falls, then let somebody else put it in a box wherever they want to. Don't put yourself in that box.
Do you ever see yourself moving back to Texas, or are you a Tennessee guy now?
I feel like, as much as I love my home state, and I'm a proud Texan through and through, I keep my kids out here close to, and the reason I say that is because the opportunities that I received once I moved here,
Okay.
the accessibility to all of it. I can get back from right here, I can get to Houston, Texas in about 12 to 14 hours.
Right.
And I can get to Toronto, Ontario in less than that.
Yeah. It's a good place to spider out of.
It's a good hub.
Yeah.
And also, all of the Texas guys are coming out here to write, because this is the mecca of all genres of music.
Yeah.
LA's coming here to write songs, and to me, that side of the creative process is still really strong in my heart.
Yeah.
To get the words out on paper.
How many songs would you say you write that are behind the songs that actually get heard?
Oh my goodness.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, again, I think I mentioned it earlier, I am writing with a different purpose at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably going to be more of those come out. But my back catalog, there's maybe 25 or 30 of those songs that I've actually put out where people can hear it,
Mm-hmm.
out of around 200 and some odd
Yeah.
that are just sitting.
I'm working with a stack of, like 500 to 600
Yeah.
that are just like, and I've probably shared maybe 50, maybe over the years that I've been writing. But I don't know, I really haven't put all my eggs in the basket. I was the type that I never wanted music to be the only way I made money. So then I've just had like a million other jobs. And there's been a good thing in that, but it also is, they're distractions.
Mm-hmm.
They help me manufacture my smallness and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I just came here to do some interviews for Americana Fest, and then met some people. And then everyone I met was like, "So when are you moving to Nashville? So when are you moving to Nashville?" I was like, "Well, you're the third person today that's asked me that question."
It is. It's
The waves just kind of brought me here. I'm not moved here yet. I'm actually going back to Texas in a couple of weeks, but the door is open for me to come back.
Yeah. I would suggest it to anyone that is on that creative path, because even being in Texas and being the songwriter guy, the musician, I've played music. I've been on stage since I was 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
I always looked at myself primarily as a musician first, and then a singer.
Okay.
And I started writing out of necessity once I had been through band after band in the rock market. We had, I think, our first record deal I was a part of was at 19 for a major record label deal, playing bass guitar in that band.
Okay.
We were kind of a one-hit wonder, played for a band called Seven Channels.
Okay.
We were on the Johnny Mosley soundtrack, #1 in South Africa.
Hey, I mean, that's something.
It was great, Then I moved on to another band called Edgewater. God rest his soul. He's passed since then, but we were on the Punisher soundtrack. So it was like having all these little glimpses of kind of stardom, playing for 20, 30,000 people a night.
Yeah.
Kind of fun stuff. But as soon as I opened my mouth, they're like, "You're a twangy man." It probably worked now.
Yeah.
Now that
everything mixes and molds a whole lot more.
It was everything was so separated then.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So when I opened my mouth, I realized it was country. And meeting the folks, it's like everyone that I had talked to that had come out to Nashville at that time, they're like, "Man, I found a home. I fit in finally." And I just never fit in. I was too country for the rock guys, and the country guys were like, "Well, dude, you sound like a soul singer, blues guy. That doesn't work for country music." I'm like, "Well, I like the storytelling in country music, though." It's like, so I had this whole, I just didn't fit in.
Yeah.
And when I moved out here, they just accept. They're like, "Dude, it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, chase that. Let's try it. If it works, then we'll go with it."
I think it's important to not fight the stream.
Yeah.
To just kind of have that radical faith and kind of put your hands up a little bit and let the stream take you where it's trying to take you.
Yeah, that's what I found in moving to Nashville.
Yeah. So what does success mean to you? Do you feel like you've already, quote unquote, made it, or are there still things that you want to see happen in your career that then you'll then be able to say, "I finally got that thing I was looking for"?
If I ever say that, I'll just quit.
Okay.
To me, there's always something new on the horizon.
Yeah.
Because you grow.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you are as a human. For me, that's what I was talking about the difference in the albums and stuff, and I'm at a different place. So why not? Let's tell this story now.
That just helps make it be more authentic and organic and genuine, and that kind of thing translates through the energy that's in that. So I think listeners appreciate when that's what's happening and you're not trying to write from a place that you're not actually at anymore, just to appease like an algorithm or just the concept of what you think it should be.
Right.
About the touring that you did during the lockdowns and stuff, where would you say that you found the people to be the most, I don't know if free is the word that I want to use, but where it was the easiest to go and play? I'm sure there were some places it was a little bit harder.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of Texas, a lot of Florida, but I also found a lot of freedom in Southern California too.
Okay.
Running that California run from San Diego all the way up to like Sacramento, up into we made really good friends with the Miwok tribe up at the Black Oak Casino.
Okay.
Those guys had us a couple of times. You'd be surprised at where the love came from.
Yeah. And you're coming back to Alaska here real soon.
Yes.
So talk about those gigs.
We're coming in and playing. It's interesting because I'll be in LA and then I'll be flying into Anchorage playing 2 shows and then coming right back to LA to finish up the run with the full band. But that one that one's kind of a precursor to what's going on. I'm coming back for, I guess it'll be my 5th time.
Okay.
To be part of the backyard barbecue, which is a big thing that goes through Fairbanks in Alaska, or Fairbanks in Anchorage. I've had it in Palmer before.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the same guys that brought us out to Kodiak are bringing me back up.
So have you gotten to do any exploring around when you're in Alaska, or are you just like straight on that road to the next place?
I have made sure that I get to get out and been halibut fishing a couple of times. We went out to Whittier and went out fishing out there. That was a blast.
Yeah.
And I got to do the salmon down in Soldotna a
Nice.
couple of times.
Nice.
And that is just the most intense thing ever.
Yeah.
Try not to get knocked over by the fish. It's like,
I never got to go and see like a full run, but right before I left, I took a trip out and there was a spot where the ocean ran into a stream. And I saw and it was late in the season, and there was just one guy
and
going
it's like, I
up
wanna
fighting
figure it
that
out.
thing, and so I was appeased with that. I was like, I got to see one of them do the thing.
Yeah, we had so much fun doing that, and I'm hoping that I've got 2 days extra on that trip that
Nice.
I'm hoping to get out. Because I'll be going up with my full band on this one, so
Okay.
some of the guys haven't had that experience yet. So.
Oh, blow their minds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it definitely is. I think the prettiest place I've been is Alaska.
This last time we were out there, we had an Airbnb just right outside of Anchorage. about
Okay.
15 minutes or so. It was up in one of the valleys. Actually, it was called Grizzly. I think they call it Grizzly Canyon or something. I forget what
Okay.
they call it, the area. And sure enough, it was there was one trying to get in the door,
Ah,
pawing at the door. I'm like, holy crap, because it's just a glass door that was
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
this guy was standing way over the top of the door
what
frame.
did he just go away eventually?
Oh, he went down to the rental car that we had and was pushing it around. And
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
all right, this is real.
Yeah. And then he just eventually got
then
bored
he
and
got
left.
bored and left.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, hey,
Heart racing.
That's my whiskey glass that I just had about an hour ago out there.
So I know that you've got a full day. I think you're actually going into the studio after this. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. But is there anything else that you want the listeners to know about? Anything else that you're excited about working on?
Be on the lookout for new music.
Okay.
That's where I'm at the moment.
Are you going to trickle some singles?
We're going to be trickling some of it out. There's been, of course, there's 1,000 ways that different people say how to put out music anymore.
Right.
Um,
You just do what you want to do.
yeah, I think I want to put out 2 or 3 of them and then send out a big batch after that.
Okay. Wonderful.
Sure.
Well, Craig, thanks so much. Is it Craig Wayne? If somebody's calling you by, like, you're just because I'm a Mary Brett stringer, but I like the Mary Brett. Sometimes, like, people call me either,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So
I'm just Craig.
just Craig.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time and letting us know what you're up to, and we're excited to hear it come out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 6 with Craig Wayne Boyd on the Doers of Things. I just want to remind you of the value for value model this listening experience runs on. My current pledge to you is to never have sponsorship ads or corporate commercials. I also have no plans of creating tiered content or a subscription fee that prices people out of the experience of hearing their fellow humans share their stories. All content is for all people all the time. I can do that with your help as a producer of the show via your time, talent, and treasure. So if you enjoy the show, please consider becoming a producer to whatever level you can. Head on over to thedoersofthings.com in the Contribute tab to learn more about how you can jump on board. Until next time you tune in to the Doers of Things, I'm Mary Brett saying, pay attention to the signs along the way. They'll let you know where you're meant to be.